Communist dictators the world over, Khrushchev, Castro, Lumumba, are invited to our shores and feted lavishly. Africa's only outspoken anti-communist, pro-Western leader, Moise Tshombe of Katanga, was arbitrarily denied a visa to visit this country. The visa was denied when he was invited here by a group of American citizens who wanted to hear his side of the story. Why? In order to find out, I decided to visit Tshombe in his own country halfway around the world. I asked President Tshombe to give the American people a first-hand evaluation of what was going on. During the course of our interview, President Tshombe was under great personal strain, for in that very hour, word had arrived that United Nations forces were preparing another all-out attack on Katanga. Here in simultaneous translation from the French are President Tshombe's comments.
Monsieur Jackson, je vous remercie beaucoup d'être venu nous rendre visite.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. I'm fairly well, but as you may know, my health has suffered somewhat from my dungeon imprisonment at the hands of the central government when they tried to break me following the conference at Coquilletteville. But that is of little matter. The important question is the survival of our beloved Katanga. As you can see for yourself, at this very hour, no effort is spared by the United Nations to utterly destroy us. In this, it is being helped by your own State Department. I'm sorry to have to say this, but tragically, it is true. Why? What have we done to your State Department? What have we done to the United Nations? What terrible crime have we committed that we should so deserve this? Well, it seems that our crime was that in an emerging Africa that is everywhere turning against the West and into the arms of the Soviet bloc, we Katangese asserted our loyalty to the West and our uncompromising hatred of communism. In an emerging world of socialized and communized industry and the seizure of private property, we have asserted our hatred of statism and our belief in and encouragement of private free enterprise. In a world of anti-individualism, we have asserted our belief in the fundamental dignity of the individual man and his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. As you have seen for yourself, here white and black live together as brothers of the human race with neither racial strife nor hatred. Our people work toward the common goals of free men. Are these the offenses? Are these the crimes that we're guilty of? You may perceive here a very interesting fact, which is this. In a communist Africa or in a communist Congo, a free Katanga would be an unbearable thorn in the side of the communists. An example of freedom which they could neither exploit or tolerate. Just as West Berlin is their thorn in Europe. Throughout the communist world and also in many Western nations, including your country, we Katangese have been viciously attacked by many political commentators. They have accused us of being tools in the hand of the colonialists, that we are cheap exploiters of the rest of the Congo, and that the rest of the Congo could not survive without political control over Katanga. Well, the vicious lies and propaganda that they are spreading against us is just what they said about free China before she fell to the hands of the communists. The propaganda against Chiang Kai-shek was vital to their conquest. And Mr. Castro, he was just another agrarian reformer too, remember? Well, today we have a United Nations full of political commentators of the same stripe. The United Nations pretext for attacking us is that the Katangese army took the initiative in the attacks of September and December 1961, just as the Chinese Reds alleged when they invaded Korea. The United Nations, on the 28th day of August 1961, surprised us by lightning attack. At 4 o'clock in the morning, on the post office square, at the railroad station, at the radio stations, everywhere, innocent Katangese men, women and children, civilians and military personnel were senselessly massacred. Next, they waged an all-out war on the economy. Not only did they bomb our industrial plants, but our freight trains and roads. They paralyzed our farms and our water supplies. But one thing they did not count upon was the will of the Katangese to be free. We're not so easily broken, even when the governments of the world seem to be against us. Our enemies have the war-making tools and propaganda machine of vast empires. We have only the simple truth of our beliefs and our desire to be free. I do not know how much longer we can hold out against the limitless pressures, but we shall not hesitate to spend our last drop of blood for our freedom if it is so required. That, I believe, is what your own countrymen did at Bunker Hill. Mr. Jackson, I thank you so very much for your visit here. I'm especially grateful to our friend, Senator Dodd, and to that large section of the American people you both represent. Tell them that the Katangese want to be their friends, but do not hide from them the fact that our people oppose those policies of your present Washington administration, policies which are laying certain ground for communism in the Congo and in all Africa. Thank you, and may God be with you.